The resort owner's cat was back to greet us the very next morning. After a long drive, we made it to Ecoland. This theme park was built with nature in mind, not thrill rides or roller coasters. Ecoland was opened in 2010. It offers a ride on a miniaturized version of America's first steam locomotive called the Baldwin locomotive. It gives you a ride through 4.5 kilometers of the Gatsu Wall Forest. It may not seem like something you would put out money to do, however, trust me, it definitely brings back the wonder of nature again. And here we arrive at Lakeside Station. This lakeside stop had a very original arrangement for its garden. They built these statues and other marked spots for photo opportunities and selfies. This pirate ship was mostly intended for children, but it was too big to pass up, and it was actually very interesting. And again, photo opportunities, as you can tell by the way these pirates are arranged. You can see the other stop from the pirate ship. However, those were bumper boats, and it was far too cold for us to be riding around on and getting sprayed by water guns, so we passed it up. The ride to the next stop had a lot of country art and prop scenery. It even included some cattle, which I wasn't expecting. The next stop was the Picnic Garden Station, which had a very short but very interesting trail, which included a large variety of plants. Big crow. The autumn colors here reminded me of back home in New England. Doesn't it look like it's something out of fantasy art? This miniature pony stare into nothingness seemed like it was totally depressed, but it was probably just tired from running around. These trees may look like they're very healthy, however it's the leafy vines that are actually killing the tree. It seems like they installed sprayers to keep the plants watered, but it gave the forest a very mystical look, and I loved it. And here we arrived at the Lavender Green Tea and Rose Garden Station. The welcoming bridge was very steep and very well crafted. And from the top you can get a good look at the train. However, since it was late autumn, there was very little to look at in the garden. We left Ecoland, and after a long drive, we made it to Sparited Garden, a bonsai tree garden. Bonsais are my favorite. However, before I get into this garden, I want to show you something I found out behind this place. I think Buddha's birthday was 7 months ago to this day. I was curious as to where these celebration displays go. They bring them to this sort of graveyard to strip them down and recycle them for the next celebration.
It's like we're in some abandoned...
I was overwhelmed with the feeling that I was in some kind of apocalyptic world out of a movie. I wanted to get a little closer to these displays made of cloth. However, I was running out of time and the field did not seem very safe. Now, besides the decoration graveyard that I found out back, this tower made of plates was also kind of eerie.
It's like made of a bunch of plates and bowls.
Now back to the garden. The bonsai garden was enjoyable for the off-season. However, I do have to come back during the summer or spring season to see these bonsais filled with life. These were definitely the best bonsais of the garden. I know I'm not the only bonsai lover to say this, but I've always felt that bonsai trees are loaded with wisdom, power, and life. Their ways of survival are very incredible. This is basically a walled-off version of basically the same trees that are all the way throughout the garden. With the hazy sun, this was a beautiful view. Afterwards, we traveled a short distance to the Sangumburi Crater Park. The crater was to the right, and an easy trail was to the left. After walking all day, the choice was very easy. Now, it was getting near the end of the day, and we were in a hurry to get to the top of the mound. However, it turned out that the trail wasn't quite as easy as the sign said it would be.
Oh, wow. We're going to be needing a break soon.
But when we did get to the top of the mound, we found it was definitely worth all that hard work. I was speechless. It seemed too good to be true, and it was very hard for me to believe that I was seeing this.
Come on, fly.
This magpie, a relative of the crow, was not letting us leave.
Saw the car coming. I like how it hopped sideways. There we go.
Now we're on our way to find dinner. We had to pick up some sweets. I would never think of this place as being a bakery. How they made all this in such a small space is unreal, and it was absolutely delicious. And another Jeju guy, one of the many all over the island. Now it's time for some traditional pork barbecue cooked on a tabletop, or in Korean it's called bulgogi. We did a lot on this day and we headed back to the resort for some rest. I'll see you for the next day in the next video. 안녕하세요, goodbye, and I'll see you later.